Welcome back, everybody. So I don't want to sound like an idiot, but I had a subscriber comment on one of my previous videos, the one where I was talking about cabochon thickness, and I was showing this opal here, and he left a very simple comment that made me kick myself in the head, and that was basically, why not check this second colour bar in a completely risk-free way by actually remembering that I cut the damn bottom off it. So this was all one piece, and this end here, I could just wet it quickly, had no colour in it at all, and as soon as I cut that off, I completely forgot it existed. I honestly did not even think that the second colour bar travels through the entire stone and was perfectly intact in the offcut until Luke, or LUKC222, commented and just simply said, I might have missed it, but why not test the other part to work out whether the second colour bar faces well or not. And like I replied to his comment, I'll just put it up on screen at some point. Yeah, I actually just didn't think about it, and it's an incredibly good idea, and that's what I'm going to do today. So this was from the Roy Steverwald parcel that I bought a little while back and did a review on. Cut this beautiful pendant piece. Really strong reds, but it's a bipolar stone and it goes blue-green in one direction and just pure red in the other. So it's really good. There's no direction where it's not showing any colour at all. So it's a beautiful dark base, kind of, well, it's not quite dark, but grey base lightning ridge piece. And I'm still uncertain whether I want to go for that second colour bar and make it double-sided, or keep the thickness nice and thick and make it a pendant piece. I could drill a hole through here and put some sort of clasp in there and hang it on a necklace. So today, I'm gonna take the advice of one of the subscribers, a clever boy, who said, why not just check out the second colour bar on the piece that you're throwing away? Not that I'm throwing it away, I'm keeping it for now. And good thing I did too, because this is such a straightforward idea. And yeah, what can I say? I'm just not very clever. Might have just finished a PhD in chemistry, but doesn't mean I'm a genius. So yeah, we're going to go ahead. I'm going to skip a lot of the cutting in this one because you don't want to see me grinding through this for 30 minutes. So basically I'm just going to use one of the coarse diamond bits. I've got some lying around here somewhere. I don't know, random one. Not going to use this, but of course 80 odd grit, depending on which one I get. 80 odd grit piece. I'm going to grind that all the way back to this second colour bar, which I realise now is a bit out of focus. Second colour bar just in here. There, you can see it a lot better there. So I'm going to grind into that second colour bar from the back side, which means getting through all of that, which is going to take forever. And we're just going to have a look at and see how this one looks, and use it as a bit of a cheats way of kind of helping me decide what I'm going to do with this piece. Just getting caught looking at it for too long. Yeah, so I'll be back in a minute. And we're back. So, it was pretty damn successful. I mean, I should have known, it's a Roy Steverwald piece of rough. So if I just chuck some water on it, because it's got really coarse cutting marks in it. But if we get a focus, it is really nice. So it looks like there's a lot of red on that second colour bar, more than anything else really, which, you know, is the favourite colour because it's the most expensive and rare colour. So that was the front, that was the first colour bar, the one that fades out towards the bottom edge, just because the piece had a chunk out of it originally. which you'll see in the previous video when I first started cutting this pendant. But this other side has colour bar all the way across it, and it is looking real good. Good enough that I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and attack this with each of the Nova tips, so ranging from the black 280, yeah, if I can actually grab a hold of them. Oh, the black 280 is actually attached to the Dremel already. So the usual setup, the black one, which is on the Dremel. Let's zoom out. Black one, 280. Brown one, 600. Grey one, 1200. And rose is the 3000. So we're going to go through all of these, and I'll be back and you'll see what this thing actually looks like without the cutting marks. Even with water, these really deep aggro cutting marks still disguise everything behind it, and on camera it just doesn't come up well. This is it dry, so you can see that it's completely washed out, just fully fogged over. But trust me, once the Nova tips have gone over this, I reckon it's going to look very similar to this piece here, except maybe a bit more red than green and blue, which would make me really keen on cutting off this back and going straight for that second colour bar and making it double-sided. Not that double-sided is the best thing in the world. You can't really increase the value of your opal by 2 just by having 2 sides. I'll probably cover that in another video at some point. But yeah, I just like getting the most out of a piece, and that is a hidden colour bar with some serious colour in it, and I feel like it's a shame to have it hide there. So if this one turns out well, this will be back on the cutting block and we will be hunting that second colour bar. But I'll be back when I've got this one nicely rubbed up. Well, a bit beyond rubbed up, pretty much cut up. So see you in a sec. Wow. I mean, this piece was an offcut that I'd completely forgotten about until a subscriber told me to have another look at it. And I mean, it has turned out really well. So, in comparison to the pendant, or the main bulk piece that I cut this free from, it's definitely not quite at the same level, but you can see they're very similar. One's just a bit brighter than the other. And having said that, I hit this with cerium oxide, and you can see there that it's got this nice mirror finish. This one hasn't even got to that stage yet. But look at it. This was an offcut. I mean, in terms of offcuts, this is probably the best piece I've ever carved out of just a random offcut. So I haven't done anything more with the other side, but like I said, the colour kind of fades out towards the end. The colour bar runs too thin. But this, my god. So I haven't changed the shape of it or anything, it's still this weird, uncomfortable looking thing. And I can see that little mark in there. I've dealt with those in pieces before, and they are actually really annoying to get rid of, so I do just have to cut out a bit of that edge. But in doing that, I could actually square this up. And if I've got my little measurer buddy here, this could actually be a proper stone. Look at that. So it'd be over 11 mils, and I reckon if we look at the shortest edge here, and if I squirt it to the shortest edge, yeah, I could do an 11 by 11 with this. By the time I fix up this edge and cut out a lot of that, and there's also a bit of a deviation here where it was fractured, and I could cut out that, and I could end up with an 11 by 11 millimeter absolute beautiful piece of opal. Red is pretty dominant in most angles, similar to the pendant, but I mean, you've got your greens and your blues scattered amongst there as well. And really, whenever you see red, you're not complaining. So, yeah, it's really good. And even though my camera wants to kill itself for some reason, it's an indication that that second color bar right there is this. Or at least towards this bottom edge where the two meet up is like this. I mean, by the time you get up to here, I guess it could be different, but across this face, it's pretty straightforward and standard. But if that's a sign of the other side of this, I mean, I've kind of got to go for it. Oops, I've got some water spots on there. So I think this one might be under the knife again sometime soon, and we'll cut it down to there and see how it goes. Like I said in that thickness video when we were talking about how thick a cabochon should be, I mean, this is still going to be about 3 mils by the time I hit that colour bar, maybe 2.5 by the time I've got a nice polished piece. And if it's this on one side and this on the other, I feel like it might be worth a crack. I can't be 100% sure, but I don't know. And if I do that, then as a pendant piece, I'll no longer be drilling a hole through the side of it or anything like that, or through the face of it. I'd actually have to be able to get a bit of a claw setting or some sort of bezel with an open back. Maybe a wire wrap. I don't know. I do want to get into wire wrapping, but at the same time, I feel like it's a little bit out of my reach, a bit too artistic. So, I don't know. I can always unwrap it, can't I? Unwrap it and sell it to someone that won't make a mess of it. So, yeah, well, that's the end of that video, but one, if not both of these, will make a reappearance, I reckon. This one needs to be cut to a nice square cushion cut, and this one needs to be seriously dealt with. This is like me after not having a haircut for 6 months. The hairdresser was not happy. Yeah, I will edit up this video and chuck it up, and I'll also take a shot of this and chuck it up on Instagram, because I mean, this was, in my mind, just an offcut that I'd already discarded. So, hoarders out there, I'm on your side. Don't throw anything out, just keep it. Old newspapers, old pizza boxes, just keep them. There might be a gem in there. But on that note, I will see you in the next one.